Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to their High Button Sports broadcast. As it's Game 4 between Team Red and Team White here at the Nova Scotia High Performance Summer Camp here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia at St. FX campus. Team Red has won all previous 3 matchups. So Team White looking to get on the board here. Last chance for these players to make an impression on these coaches here is looking to crack the provincial team. 12 forwards, 6 defense, and 2 goalies will be selected to represent the province. The Atlantic Challenge Cup. Thanksgiving weekend in October in Moncton. It's a 14 tournament. New Brunswick, PEI, Newfoundland, and Nova Scotia. It's been around forever. As of a quick whistle here, face off inside the white zone. Puck is dropped. Back to retrieve it is Forsyth. Cool TDD pass for Cormier. Right, Cormier up ahead for Cohen Little. Little, the bomber, won a championship with the Pictou team. This season's an early whistle here. Kneeing is going to be the indication, so a penalty to Lincoln McDonald. Or no, sorry. Who's getting the call here? Referees are going to discuss it. Looks like it's going to be Liam Haney, number 45 for Team White. So a red power play to start things off. There's Jackson Mood out there with Sears and Miller Cannon. So a bandit in between 2 goals, and the figuring out with the power play is Grace out there with McMullen on the blue line. As Calvert didn't take the penalty face-off shorthanded. Calvert had 3 shorthanded goals last season for the goals. That was tied for the league lead with teammate Nash Haverstock. Him and Haverstock causing havoc on the penalty kill. Haverstock just arrived here for the U16s there. Going to be starting up their camp here today. No games for them, but just I think a practice and a couple of orientations and some team builders. Pretty light day to start things off. I believe they have 2 games tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe just the one. I literally had the schedule right in front of me, but it fell down, so I can't see it. As we'll have another face-off here. Still in the power play is Team Red. Just 21 seconds have gone on the man advantage as Mood will win it back towards the corner. Giving chase is Cannon. Cannon has the puck up the wall for McMullen. McMullen will fake one way, go the other. Down low for Cannon. Another Cannon will weave his way through towards the middle there. Shot towards the goal is steered away by Seth Lockyer, the true Bearcat defenseman. His CDD pass, Grace has it in his own zone. Up ahead for Cannon, but right there to pick that one off is Correa, the lone player to not play in the Nova Scotia League last season. He played for the Maine Chiefs out in the U.S. As DDD pass can be picked up and sent down the ice by Nathan McLean, but it's going to be kept in as here's Jackson Mood. Mood, as he had McLean right on him, it's going to be turned over as Ray will get it and hold on to it and send it down eventually. It goes right past goaltender Sean Gillis. I should mention the starting goaltenders. Number 3, Sean Gillis. So if you're your first broadcast, you're just tuning in, he's one of the 3 Nova's goaltenders here out of the 6 that were selected to come up to Antigonish. The shot there is going to be fought off as McDonald got in deep. That's Jackson McDonald. There's 2 McDonalds on Team Red, Jackson and Lincoln, 86 and 87. There's also McDonald on Team White. That's number 48, Felix McDonald, plays for the Wolverines. So Gillis, number 3 in goal, and Landon Wilson, number 79. So 2 Nova goaltenders going out of here. It's thought the point shot's going to be stopped as Graves let one rip from the point as McMullen gets the rebound. McMullen will send it in deep, looking for Jake Wilmot, the Ranger forward. Has his teammate Cash West poke it up ahead. It's going to be kept in by Graves, but intercepted as West gets to the blue line there as he was going for the change. As the puck hit his skate as here's Wilmot. Pass ahead there. He's got his stick lifted. Was number 83. That's Parker Douglas. The goal is forward. It's going to be sent in deep. Behind the net. Looking for it is McDonald. That's Jackson McDonald. Up to the point is Graves. We'll chip it down low for Douglas. Douglas will back in one in deep. As it's back to 5-on-5, by the way. Here's Wilmot. As he had Mason Wakeham right on him. Wakeham, top rookie scorer for defenseman last year in the U15 league. Played for the Dartmouth Whalers. Him and Jack Taylor here representing D-Town. The dark side is it's going to be played into the bench for a whistle. Just about 3 minutes have gone so far in this first period. Still no score. It's Cohen Little back out there. And for the face-off against Manton Austin, number 80, Nova product. A lot of Novas out there playing in their hometown here in Antigonish. Here comes Cohen Little. Little will throw it out the boards there. Looking for Jared Conlon. Halifax Wolverine product. A lot of Wolverines here as well, as you can tell by the yellow helmets and yellow gloves. Pretty distinct colors. Here's Trip Greenow spinning in his own corner. Greenow, the Valley Wildcats defenseman, will go D to D over to Williams as he gets hit there by Conlon. Puck comes free behind the net, looking for it is Austin. Anton Austin will backhand one up, looking for Lincoln McDonald. We'll go past him. As here's Mason Wakeham, who can go D to D as Whaler teammate Taylor there on the forecheck to get a piece of that pass, and they'll end up right on nets and covered up by Landon Wilson. So as I mentioned, 3 Nova goaltenders. Son Gillis was an AP, and they have Dylan Marmarquette here, number 8, and in goal there, number 79 with the white glove is Landon Wilson. So 2 full-time goalers from the Novas and then 1 AP here. So obviously they can't take all 3 next year. I don't think Gillis would want to play as an AP again. He could definitely play in this league, as that's going to be a stop there from Wilson. So interesting to see where he ends up this season. Maybe they'll keep him and have to cut a returning goaltender. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Here's Henrik Tenwold. Tenwolds will get the puck in deep. They're to pick it up as Trip Greenow. Greenow will spin back, pirate over to Williams. Luke Williams has the puck. Put up ahead looking for Taylor, but pinching in. For a moment there was McDonald. Chance here for Red now. As with the puck is Manton Austin as his teammates are changing. Number 80 will send it towards the corner. Picked up by Team White. As starting the rush there is Douglas. Or Jollymore rather. Is chance here for Felix McDonald. He gets taken down. It's going to be a penalty as Grace got the stick into the feet. And it's going to be touched up by Linus Braun. That'll be a whistle. And the power play here. Team White had the man advantage. It's Connor Grace, number 73, the Bombers defenseman, will sit in the sin bin for 2 minutes or less. 15:42 to go here, first period. Last chance for these players, as I mentioned, to make an impression on these coaches. Riley Grayson Sears in for the face-off against Cohen Little. Shear to Little's right, and to his left is Liam Hannay. Out there for the power play. It's going to be played up to the point for Lockyer. Lockyer DD pass over to Sim. Sim will fire one towards the goal. It's going to be blocked with the stick of Braun. As puck on the half wall now, looking to get his Little, and he will. Here's Cohen Little. The Bomber forward will take it behind the net. Plays it up top for Lockyer. DD pass over to Sim. Sim will look for a shot pass there, but it's a shin pad. That was number 81, Sears getting the stick on that. That's going to be a broken twig on the play, so forced to ditch it into the corner is Miller Cannon. That's going to be sent down the opposite end. Out to play it is Landon Wilson. He'll be forced to pitch it up ahead as he had Sears right on the forecheck, but Sears gets there first anyway, and he'll pitch it back to the defenseman McMullen, but it's going to be picked off by Little on the forecheck. Here's Little leaves it for Shear. Shear will send it in deep. Jack Shear having a great two-way tournament, in my opinion. He's been effective on both sides of the puck. As here's Little behind the goal. Little will hold on to it. Cohen Little plays it up top. One-timer. Lockyer might have fooled Gillis there as he didn't see it. Puck comes free for Shear as that puck went wide. Here's Little behind the goal. Comes free for Hannay. Hannay will go up top for Lockyer. Lockyer will drag and shoot one on. It's going to be blocked in front there by Graves. Sam Graves gets his shin pad in front of that puck as they're battling for it right in front of the Boston Pizza logo. The lone logo on the boards here at this rink, as they're really digging in at that one like a pitchfork. That's quite the digging display there. It's going to come free now. As here's a chance for Red to clear. Leading the rush is Jackson Mood, the Bandits superstar. Has the puck on the left side. He'll look to make a move here. 1-on-3. Mood still has it, but still with the puck like he's in a phone booth sticking him it. As Mood able to hold on to it still. Plays it up top for Greenow. Greenow will walk through and shoot one on. It's going to be stopped by Wilson. The rebound is covered up. Great stick handling display there from Jackson Mood to hold on to the puck and wait for his teammates to get on the ice as they were changing. And mind you, they were also shorthanded, and they still are for the next 5 seconds. It's a great skill to be able to hold on to the puck. You see a lot of coaches these days at the start of practices play keep away with the players. It's a very important skill to have, as you're able to protect the puck as they collect the broken stick in the opposite end. I mentioned this a few times already this weekend, but a nervous energy in the rink. You can usually hear a lot of cheers in between whistles from the coaches, the parents watching, but they seem to be holding their breath a bit more here. It's not a lot of energy in this crowd. more, I guess there is energy. It's like a nervous energy as Douglas trying to poke it free. Sent down the opposite end. Back to retrieve it is Nathan McLean. He'll take it behind the goal. McLean has McDonald right on him, able to make the play across the ice. It's a skate as Calvert couldn't find it, as pinching it is Carroll. Comes free for Calvert. Comes Lakua. Calvert looking to break through. Calvert can't get the angle as Greenow there to disrupt him. Calvert will send it in deep. Looking for Rhea. Comes free behind the goal as here is Asher Sampson. Sampson up top for West. Takes the return pass from the Rangers defenseman there. One-timer pass goes through the feet up top. McLean lets the shot go. I'll go wide of the net. Pinching it as West to keep the play alive. Here's Cash. West hits nudged off the puck there from Carroll. As here comes Wilmot, take it the other way. Jake Wilmot on the right side, backhand towards the opposite end. That's going to be offside, so touched up by Douglas, but that will cause a whistle. 12:45 to go here in the first. A lot of whistles here to start things off. It's been a long week for these players. A few injuries. Players not be able to play. A lot of wear and tear. It's kind of what this camp is supposed to simulate, is a professional atmosphere and how grueling the sport really is if you want to play at the high level. As here comes Nathan McLean. He'll send it down the ice. No icing's a signal from the referee, as that's going to be played behind the goal. As comes free, play up top for Wakeham. Wakeham will walk in, fire one on, looking for the tip in front. Gillis makes a save. Rebound is steered towards the corner. As Red looking to clear his Lincoln McDonald. Staves off the check from Wakeham. Makes the play over across for Bryce Carroll. Carroll will lead the rush. Number 72 from the Rage will get taken down. It's going to cause a penalty. As Team Rebel head back to the power play here, as Carroll knocked off the puck. Let's see what they send to the box here. Looks like it might be Spencer Anderson sitting for 2 or less here. And he will be the guilty party. So with 12:03 to go here in the first, power play for Team Red. Still no score here in Antigonish. It's Calvert once again out there for the penalty kill. Or sorry, that would be Liam Jollymore. 47. Puck dropped. Here is Grace. Over across for Graves. Graves will take the shot there. Wilson makes a save. Rebounds loose. They score. That might have been poked at in front there. Not sure who got a stick on it. It might have been Sears. That's to lead the hand tap rush. So it's Grayson Sears in front of the net to tap that one home through the 5-hole of Wilson. Power play goal for Red. Perfect execution there on the power play goal. DDD play from Grace to Graves. Point shot through the screen. Led to a rebound, and Grayson Sears was there to poke it home. And that's your opening goal here in this final game at the U15 camp here in Antigonish. As Lockyer, or Forsyth, the other looking to make the play. As behind the net playing it is Landon Wilson. Leads it for Brett Cormier. Cormier turns it over as Matt Jackson Mood, and then on the forecheck. Mood falls into the wall looking to spin as he's a little slow to get up here. But he'll get it back to his feet. That's good to see, as here's Grace trying to get away from the forechecking Tenwold. This puck is poked up ahead. Comes free for Cormier. Brett Cormier holding on to the puck as Sears right on him is back on his feet. Or sorry, that's Mood, who slowly makes his way to the bench. In the corner now, looking forward is Grace. Poked up the wall. Forechecking in is Liam Jollymore, looking to keep the play alive. There's a chance here for McDonald. Shot just goes wide. Pitching in is Sim. Unable to keep the play alive. They'll be sent back to the opposite zone. Team Red will take a change here, as that will be an icing call of 10:50 to go. Another whistle, another stoppage of play. See a way puck drop. Cohen Little on the face-off against Wilmot. Puck is one back for White. Here's Sims. Shot looking for the tip there. They score. I believe that hit the twig of Cohen Little parked in front of the cage. And just like that, it's 1-1. Another point shot with a screen ends up being effective there as Cohen Little, number 47 for Team White, the bomber forward, tips it home past Sean Gillis. And we're knotted up at ones here in Antigonish. Little against Wilmot at center ice after the goal. Puck dropped here. Here's Little. Once again, that's going to be offside as Shear couldn't drag his foot across. Face-off will be right in front of the red bench in the neutral zone. Puck is dropped. Duty passes the face-off win. McMullen will chip it off the glass. Takes a funny hop off the stanchion, but McDonald able to recover. That's Jackson McDonald to chip it in deep. Right under the stick of Sim. Over crossing for Hannay. Hannay will chip it up ahead. Here comes Little. Cohen Little looking for more after scoring. He has a little bit of a step here on the left side. Little will fire it up high. It goes wide of the net. That's going to be kept in by Lockyer. Sent in deep for Little. Little on the back end will spin towards the forehand there as it gets nudged into the boards by McMullen. Sent up ahead. Here's Douglas. It's a hit there from Shear. Shear no stranger to the body contact, as I mentioned a few times, as here's Little. Cross sides looking for Hannay, but he was going to the bench, so Williams there to pick it up. Williams through the middle, picked up by Wilmot. Wilmot over across for McMullen. McMullen will take it in for the right side, dumps it in deep. Out to play it is Landon Wilson, as he has a forechecking McDonald right on him, so forced to play it to the opposite wall. As poked ahead by West. Little still out there looking to poke it free as Carroll will keep the play alive. Little once again looking to chip it off the boards there, as that will be sent back in deep by Carroll once again. As looking for the puck there, it's going to be turned over. Here comes Asher Sampson, number 51 for Team White. The Nova's forward will look to send it in deep there, hits a linesman. Comes free neutral for Jack Taylor. He'll pitch it ahead for Lincoln McDonald. Here comes number 87, McDonald, having a great showing so far, looking for more. McDonald will fire one off the rush there. His rebound was bouncing over the stick of Austin. As here comes Sampson now, gets taken down by Carroll. As here's Rhea. Rhea will drop it off for Cash West, number 40 for Team White. Will skate through the X. Through the middle there, gets tripped up, and it's going to be a penalty. As West taken down. Looks like they'll send Manton Austin, number 80, to the box. Be another White power play. They did not convert the first time around. 9:05 to go. Puck is dropped. About to redo that face-off there. They put 4 minutes on the board for tripping. Maybe they gave him a kneeing penalty. Don't know why it'd be 4 minutes. Regardless, it looks like they're discussing the play. So leave it at 4. Puck is dropped. Comes up top, pass it across for Wakeham. Wakeham will walk in and shoot up high off the crossbar. Wakeham saw an opening there as the goalie was screened once again. As here's Calvert up to Wakeham. Team out in the power play. Calvert has it down low, back out top for Wakeham. He'll walk in. Kind of fumbled it there, but able to hold possession. His little back went over across for McLean. Nathan McLean will send one towards the opposite boards. Here's Calvert over across for Braxton Robertson. Robertson will fire one on from distance, just goes wide. As Calvert gets the rebound once again. Wakua Calvert looking to get the puck back, but Grace is there to clear, but kept in at the blue line as Braxton Robertson there to hold possession. Comes free for Sampson. Asher Sampson finds Rhea. Sampson gets it back, puck is bouncing on the wall as he gets pinned up against the boards against Miller Cannon. Puck comes free. Here comes Jackson Mood. Mood through the middle to cross the X. Will dangle his way through. Mood still has it there, but Wakeham at the last moment able to poke that free. Great opportunity for Mood, shorthanded once again. As here comes Asher Sampson. Sampson streaking through. Sampson looking to dangle his way, but Graves gets a stick on it. Comes into the corner. Rhea hoping to hop over his stick. That's going to be cleared down the ice by Graves. He's having a great game today so far. Had the assist on the point shot to open things up here, and it's been great defensively as well. This here is Beckett Forsyth, number 34. The Wolverine defenseman will send it in deep. Out to play it as Gillis. Leaves it there for Graves. Graves will hold on to the puck in the corner. Still 2:22 to go in the power play. The double minor for kneeing. As that puck comes free, here's Cormier. Brett Cormier up top. Sends it down low for Maddox Burke. Burke up top for Cormier. Cormier will streak through. Cormier sends it towards the goal, tip just wide. That's here's Spencer Anderson now up top for Forsyth. Forsyth over cross for Burke, who is putting his glove back on as it fell off. So he'll head to the bench as his neck guard came off as well. Sent in towards the boards. As here's Luke Williams. Hit into the wall there was Sears. Puck's going to be behind the net there. Conlon looking for it. Comes free. Here's Tenwold. Tenwold will pass across there. Looking for the one-timer with Seth Lockyer. Another penalty coming up here. Looks like it'll be a 5-on-3 for Team White. As looks like Luke Williams will sit for tripping. Great opportunity for White to take the lead here, as they'll send out Tenwold, Jollymore, Felix McDonald, Reese Sim, and Seth Lockyer, number 35. Sim and Lockyer will change positions on the blue line for the one-timer as puck is dropped. Here's Sim now. Lots of space out there for Team White. Lockyer has the puck up top over to Sim. Sim will collect it, plays it down low for Tenwold. Tenwold will try and force it through the middle there, but there with the stick is Carroll. But he'll play it into the bench, so face-off will remain inside. 6:11 to go here in the first. And for the draw is Jollymore against Wilmot. Puck dropped. Here's Felix McDonald. McDonald will circle back on the half wall is McDonald. Plays up top for Sim. Sim in the middle of the ice will find McDonald. McDonald will drag and fire one on. That will hit the side of the cage. Toe drag release. No good there. Let's here's Lockyer. Over across from McDonald. McDonald will shoot again. This time he scores. 5-on-3 goal. Felix McDonald off the pass from Seth Lockyer. And it's 2-1 for Team White. 5-on-3 power play goal. They'll still be on the man advantage. McDonald had a couple chances there at the bottom of the right circle. Second time around, he capitalized, posting in. And it is now 2-1. Puck dropped. Played back for Grace for Team Red as they'll poke it up the wall. Send all the way down the ice as they're still killing off a penalty here. As they'll have another minute and 5 seconds as Williams still in the box. They still have the previous penalty still on the board, but that was negated as a goal was scored on the power play. There's another one coming up here. So it'll be 4-on-4 as here comes Grace. Saucer passing for McDonald, just hopped over his stick. Looking McDonald looking for another goal here. He has plenty of those so far in this tournament showcase camp thing. That's going to be whistled down as Team White touches up. So looks like a tripping call, I believe. Let's see what the signal is. Yep, tripping. So Jack Shear will sit in the penalty box. So 4-on-4 for 42 seconds. And a minute and 18 power play will follow that one up for Team Red as they look to tie the game up. Lincoln McDonald will take the face-off out there with Jackson McDonald, number 86 and 87. Puck dropped. One back by White. DDD pass over to Wakeham. Wakeham will collect the puck, number 49 in White. Will take a hit there from Lincoln McDonald. This puck comes free for Grace. DDD pass over to Trip Greenow. Greenow up ahead for McDonald. Here comes Jackson McDonald on the right side. Will try to dangle his way through, but there to left his stick was Braxton Robertson as he got the puck over to Wakeham. Wakeham gets the puck from Lincoln McDonald. A chance here for 2-on-1. Wakeham with Hannay. Wakeham towards the backhand. Stopped by Gillis. Wakeham gets his own rebound. He'll play it up ahead, but out of the reach of Robertson, who's forced to retreat and pass over to Calvert, who is once again out there for the penalty kill. It's going to be picked off. Here comes Grace. Grace or to Lincoln McDonald, hop over his stick. McDonald has the puck in neutral ice. Will look to dangle his way through. It's going to be picked off. Here comes Cole Rea as Tripp Greenow will get the puck back. Greenow on the power play for the next minute or so as he'll take the puck and send it in deep. Sears and Mood back out there for this man advantage. That's going to be cleared down the ice. Too many men called here as Carroll touches up as teammate, I believe that was Greenow, still on the ice. So Team Red gets caught with 6 players on the ice. So Greenow will sit. So another 4-on-4 opportunity for 51 seconds. And a bit a minute and 9-second power play after that for Team White. So teams exchanging penalties here. So 4:04 to go. It's dropped here. So we're inside 4 minutes now. 4-on-4 action. Here's Calvert. Plays it back for Cormier. Here's Brett Cormier. DD pass. Go to Forsyth. Forsyth, number 34 for White, will take it up through the middle. Forsyth will put the brakes on and then eventually find Calvert, who gets his stick lifted by Carroll as Red gets possession back. Here's Rea, gets hit into the boards, picked up by Forsyth. Turned over, here's Austin there, but he gets stripped by Cole Rea as he has the puck on the right side. Rea towards the goal, goes through the crease. 3.5 to go here in the first period. Still 4-on-4 as puck is bouncing for Austin. We'll send it in deep. As power play now for Team White as Shear out of the box. Here comes Rea, but picked off by Braun, who will send it in towards the White zone as he'll go for a change. So will the rest of his Team Red teammates. As here comes Forsyth. Over ahead for Sampson. Sampson will circle back. Asher Sampson crosses the X. Finds Calvert on the left side. Calvert, as Sim will send it towards the corner. Plenty of time for Luke Williams to pick up the puck and send it down the ice, and that's exactly what he does. As Wilson out to play it, he'll pitch it up ahead. That's too far for Sim, so Graves gets there first. Graves will play it back for Sears. Grayson Sears has plenty of time to clear it down. Wilson once again out to play it. As here is Seth Lockyer, the Bearcat defenseman, has the puck. So we'll find Maddox Burke. That hopped over his stick. As it's going to be sent in deep. We've got Conlon. Behind the goal is Williams looking for it. Williams will play it up the wall. Here's Miller Cannon. Up top there is watch out. Greenow's out of the box. As he has a little bit of room here. Comes Tripp Greenow in on the lone. Greenow will get a shot off there, but it's going to be a penalty as he might have gotten hooked in on the way in. As here's a pass in front for Douglas. Here's Greenow. Shot stopped as Wilson was down. But able to make the save. Let's see what the call is here. I think it might be a hooking call on Lockyer. That is the signal from the referee. So that will be the call. Power play for Red. Looking to tie the game up here. Wilmot against Maddoxburg for the face-off. Puck is dropped. Going back to the point. So here's McMullen. Down low for McDonald. Here's Jackson McDonald. Back up top for McMullen. Over across for Grace. Grace will play it down low for Douglas. Douglas will throw it towards the goal there, but tied up was McDonald looking for that tap-in pass to go in. As back to retrieve it is Grace. Connor Grace will put the brakes on there as he had Maddox Burke all over him on the forecheck. As here's Wilmot. Jake Wilmot in the middle of the ice in the power play avoids the hit from Burke. Wilmot still has it, finds McDonald. Here's Jackson McDonald behind the goals. We approach the last minute of play here in the first. Grace gets the pass. D-to-D for McMullen. McMullen will walk in and chewing on and rebounds there, but cleared away. Another D-to-D point shot with a screen on the power play. Nearly another goal. Here's McMullen. McMullen down the right side will try and leave it there for Grace, but picked off. Inside a minute to go now in the first period. Here's Grace. Heads up, looking for a partner pass here. Finds McMullen. McMullen will chip it in deep. To play it is Wilson. Wilson on the backhand. Finds Braxton Robertson. Up to the point there, kept in by Carroll. Carroll towards the goal, tipped in front, blocked by Wakeham. As he'll collect the puck now with less than 30 seconds to go. Wakeham will send it down the ice. And out to play it is Gillis. Gillis, as Carroll gets the puck now. Carroll picked up by Taylor. Taylor will enter the zone to the middle. Taylor looking to leave it there for McDonald, and he will. Here's Lincoln McDonald moving his way through. McDonald towards the backhand. Trying to find Carroll streaking through. There's 2 seconds to go. Carroll throws it towards the net. And that's going to do it. So 2-1 your score. Team White up by a goal after the first period. Teams will head to their rooms here for the intermission. Zamboni will head to the ice. You're tuning in to High Button Sports here, St. FX campus. U15 high performance camp tryouts. We'll be right back in about 12 minutes or so for the second period. Just a moment. Welcome back here. Second period just about to get underway. 2-1's your score for Team White. We have 2 new goalies in goal. As to your left, number 76 is Chase Grandy for the Trio Bearcats, and to your right, Dylan Mombercat, number 8. Played for the Novas last year. One of the 3 Novas goalies here at this camp for U15. There's an early whistle here. Still 6 seconds left in the power play. There's a penalty to Seth Lockyer near the end of the period. Has red up a man. This puck is dropped. As it's going to be cleared down by Team White. It's going to do it for the power play. Graves will go back to play it. Mombercat leaves it for him. Graves up the boards. They're going to spring Sears, but that's going to be an icing call. Grayson Sears got a stick lifted there, arguing that, but to no avail. A couple early whistles to start things off here. Final game for these 2 teams. They'll head home today after this one, and it'll be the U16s taking over afterwards. They just arrived. I believe they're in an orientation right now upstairs here at the rink. I forget what the name of this building is. There's a name for it, but I forget it. As here comes Jackson Mood. Crosses the X at center ice. Mood still has it. Well, fire went on and an early save for Chase Grandy as he blockers that one down. Puck in the corner. Pokes it free. Here's Mood on the backhand up high. That'll hit the stick and go to play. Forsyth got a piece of that. As he's out of the box. Both teams make some wholesale changes. 44 seconds have gone so far. There's been 3 whistles. Wilmot out there with Jackson McDonald and Parker Douglas. So we wait the face-off here. Little for Team White. Wins it back. He has the opening goal in this game off the tip in front. As here's Grace. Grace loses it there for Shear. Here comes Jack Shear. 2-on-1 with Hannay. Couldn't reach that pass with number 45, Hannay. Comes back down low for Shear. Spinning pass behind the goal. Hits the side of the cage. Here's Shear once again. Shear will look to play it up the wall. It's going to be sent in towards the opposite boards. As Lockyer misses it wide. Here's Sim towards the opposite end. Sim will tip one just wide of the goal. Shear will let a one-timer go. Hits the side of the cage. Rebounds loose, looking to wrap it through. But to no avail. It's going to be cleared away by Grace. Sent towards the opposite end by McDonald, but kept in at the line by Lockyer. He'll dump it in right onto Mombercat. He'll leave it for Greenow, who stumbles a bit, but slow to make the play as he had plenty of time as White was offside. Here's Douglas. Douglas trying to go through the feet there of Cash West, but to no avail. West gets to the puck behind the goal. Finds Sim. Lockyer has it. Lockyer looking to spring Little. Here comes Cohen Little over across for Hannay. Hannay will fire one on, just goes wide. Nice break in there. Shear covering for the defenseman. Will send it back in deep. Looking for Little. Finds him. Cohen Little having a great camp, in my opinion, so far. Little will shield the puck using his body. Has it in the middle now. As gets knocked off the puck by Lincoln McDonald. As it's going to be kept in deep there and sent in towards the goal by McLean, just wide. Looking for the tip. It's off the bench came Asher Sampson looking to get it in deep, but gets nudged off the puck as here's Rhea. As he gets stripped by McMullen, who'll take it back behind his own goal. Oliver McMullen, backhand up to the wing for McDonald. Looking to clear, but picked off by Sampson. Asher Sampson goes D to D over to Cash West. West will fake the pass and hold on to it. West over to Sampson down the right side. Enters the zone. Sampson towards the goal. Spins on the half wall. Sampson up top. There is Robertson over across. West will fire one towards the goal. Tipped in front. Just over the cage. As that was Lukua Calvert with a stick in front of the goal. As he has the puck on the wall. Plays it up top as that's going to be over the blue line there. As Taylor gets it loose. Taylor out of Lincoln McDonald. 2-on-1 developing. Here's McDonald. Shot out the stick there. Rebound was whacked away at by Manton Austin, but he couldn't bat it out of midair. As here comes Calvert down the other way. Calvert can't get by the defense. It's going to be kept in deep by Rhea. Calvert behind the goal once again. Centering pass. Too hot for Rhea as he'll let a shot go. As Sampson couldn't find the rebound as Wakeham there to pick up the puck in neutral ice as there's a broken stick. And that might just be Or sorry, no, not his stick. I thought that was Grayson Sears broken Sherwood. That would have been a travesty. If you haven't been on our social media page this week, we got a chance to interview Sears and found out how he tapes his stick. Pretty funny video as he played up top. Here's Braun over to McDonald as pass over across for Williams. Finds Braun again over to Lincoln McDonald. McDonald will drag and fire one towards the goal. Rebound came loose but cleared away as Grandy makes a save. Here comes White now with the puck. Calvert up ahead for Spencer Anderson. Anderson will kind of dangle his way through and a reverse hit on Williams. As here comes Red the other way. Here's Mood. Mood over across the middle of the ice there, but picked off by his counterpart Burke. As here comes Williams in his own end. Williams turns it over. Here's Robertson. Robertson down low for Burke, but intercepted by Williams. Puck in the corner now, looking to dig it free is Jackson Mood. Mood will get it free, but right under the stick of Asher Sampson, who sends it back in deep. There to pick it up is Braun. Braun behind the cage finds Williams, who will go across the boards there, out of the reach of Wakeham, is forced to retreat. Here comes Mason Wakeham in the corner. Goes across the ice there, looking for Robertson. As watch out here, Red's changing, and they nearly avoided too many men. As they were called for that earlier on today. Look, not this time, as puck hits the skate of the linesman, so circles back to Wakeham. Wakeham DDD pass. Finds Braxton Robertson. He'll circle back in his own end. Robertson, the Bandits defenseman, will go through the middle there. It's picked up by Mood. Great hands there, but couldn't hold possession. Puck is bouncing as Sears will use his Sherwood stick. Send it in deep, and that will be covered up by Chase Grandy. Some good back and forth action now. Things opening up a bit. Chances on both sides. Still 2-1, no score in this period yet. But I feel like every time I say that, someone goes down and scores, so maybe I just jinxed it. I'm known for a jinx or two in my time. As in for the face-off is Jackson McDonald. Puck dropped. Played in behind the goal. Here's Cormier, but kept in by Graves. Puck is bouncing on him. That'll be sent back in deep by Douglas. Back to retrieve it is Brett Cormier, the Bombers defenseman, championship winner this season with Warewell. Won the provincial banner at home at the Pictou County Wellness Center in overtime over the Valley Wildcats. Pretty exciting game. Great to be a part of that earlier. I think that was in March. Feels like it was forever ago, but only a few months ago. We're in July now. As here's Cormier again to retrieve it. Cormier will pitch it back to himself. He finds Burke. Or that was Jollymore rather. That's going to be picked off. Here's Graves. D over to Grace. Graves will circle back. Gets the return pass. Graves will look to clear it, but it's going to be picked off by Jollymore. Sent back in deep. Out to play it is Momberket. His White's offside, so plenty of time for Team Red to break the puck out. As here's Graves. Sam Graves will poke it up ahead there. His linesman falls down. Watch out. Puck comes free. Here's McDonald. Felix McDonald will take it in on the right side. Since it's in deep there, takes a hit from Grace in the process. As in on the forecheck is Tenwold looking to get a puck from Graves, but Graves stands his ground. Falls down. It's to be turned over. Here's Little. Cohen Little knocked out the puck by Taylor. I forgot his name there for a second. Sent in deep. Here's Grace. Grace up the boards. Picked up by Taylor. Taylor looking to clear. He finds a stick of Grace, who makes the play up the middle. Here comes Parker Douglas now on the right side. The goal's forward, has the puck. Will dish it off for Wilmot. Wilmot will drag it towards the corner. Wilmot behind the net now. Jake Wilmot has the puck through the middle there and easily picked off as there was nobody there but White Sweaters. As Lincoln McDonald will pick it up and neutralize. So skate across the X, looking to get it through the feet there of Little, but could not do that. It's going to be dumped in deep. Have to play it. It was Grandy. He'll go up the boards. Pinching in, it was Hannay looking to keep the play alive. As here's Sim up for Shear. That gets intercepted. Pinching in is Carroll. As puck comes to the point now, here's Taylor, who's covering for Carroll. Over across from McDonald. Lincoln McDonald will play it back to neutral ice. As Trip Greenow has plenty of time here to make a play. Greenow in his own zone. Will go to the middle there. It's going to be tipped up ahead. Chance here for Douglas. Douglas all alone. Douglas with a forehand. That'll be stopped by Grandy. Great bounce there. Not sure that was intentional off the stick of Austin. Ended up right on the right wing for Douglas. It looks pretty cool. Not sure if he meant to do it, but either way, here comes White now. Here's Little. Little Look at chipping in deep there, and he will. Tangled up with Green now as they both get going to the boards. As time trickling down here, approaching the halfway mark of this game. Puck comes up top for the point shot from West. Is bouncing the feet there as it comes free for Austin. Man, Austin will play out the wall, picked off. As here's Robertson to send it back towards Carroll. Carroll kind of fell into the boards there trying to make the play. It's going to be turned over. Here comes Sampson. Sampson over to Calvert. Calvert will hold on to it, looking to shoot one there, but sticked away. As Miller Canning got a stick on that. Here comes Lincoln McDonald. He finds Jackson. Move, but they're going to be offside. There are too many men. 6 fingers in the referee's hands there. So a power play for Team White. Looked like Mood had a little bit of space there for a breakaway, but the whistle blew. So they'll send Mood to the box. So both teams take a bench minor for too many men. This time it's red. Or sorry, it was red both times. Uh-oh. Either way, another power play here for Team White. They have a 2-1 lead here. They haven't won a game yet in this mini-series. Puck is dropped. That'll be cleared off the face-off. Is back to retrieve it there. The forecheck is Miller Cannon. Way out of his crease to play that one. It's Grandy. So he'll find teammate McLean. Here's Cash West now. He'll drag it back behind the goal. Finds McLean. McLean back to West. Team White in the power play. Looking to set up here is picked up by Asher Sampson and neutralized. Sampson on the right wing has Sears right on him as he gets taken to the wall. The number 91 in red. McMullen gets to the puck first and will clear it down the ice. Chase Grandy out to play it. Grandy will go across the boards there. Finds Sampson in neutral ice once again. Sampson goes skate to stick. Finds Calvert, who does the same thing. Calvert gets pucked off there by Williams, who gets the puck right back. Calvert towards the boards. Calvert trying to drag his way through, but McMullen with a stick able to make the good defensive play. As that will be cleared down the ice by McDonald. They'll hop over the stick of Grandy, so able to get there first is Sears. Grayson Sears, shorthanded, finds McDonald. It's Jackson McDonald. He'll play it back for Grace. Connor Grace will drag it and shoot it down the ice. As funny hop once again for Grandy. Use it there for Nathan McLean. McLean through the middle. It's going to be picked off as pinching up was Linus Braun. As Cash West takes over. We're halfway through this game now. 30 minutes have gone. 30 minutes to go. Here comes Connor Grace. Shorthanded for the next 30 seconds. He'll go across the ice there off the boards. As McLean back to retrieve it. Nathan McLean finds Asher Sampson. Here's Spencer Anderson. Anderson will poke it ahead, but right under the stick of Braun, who will once again clear it down for Team Red. McLean's still out there. Or sorry, that's Robertson now. It's turned over. Here's McDonald, who couldn't get the pass through. Here comes Spencer Anderson now. Anderson down the left side. His penalty is coming to a close here. They're back to 5-on-5. Jackson Mood returns to the bench, serving the bench minor. As Lincoln McDonald will head out there. Pass in front is going to be picked off and sent down, looking to spring McDonald, but it's out of his reach, and that's going to be no icing. As out to play it is Grandy. He'll find Mason Wakeham. Wakeham looking to dangle his way through, still has the puck. Wakeham through the middle there, finds Maddox Burke. Burke leaves it for Anderson there, takes a shot. Rebound there for Burke, but he hopped over his stick. As here's Lincoln McDonald. Takes Burke into the boards. As puck comes free, shot towards the goal, just goes wide. As here comes Team Red. Here's Jack Taylor through the middle. Hits a stick, but not enough. As McDonald got a piece of it there, and Wakeham trying to hit McDonald into the boards, fell into the bench. As rebound comes loose there in front, stopped by Grandy. So here's Lincoln McDonald up the wall, finds Graves. Graves one-touch pass down low is picked off by Jolly Moore. As puck ends up in the neutral zone. Here's Carroll over to Graves. GD pass and then sent in deep. That's going to be an icing call with 8:20 to go here in the second period. Face-off coming up. Matt and Austin in for the draw against Liam Jollymore. So we'll wait the drop of the puck. Here it is. One back by Red. They have the puck in the defensive zone. Pitched ahead there, but able to get back in time is Forsyth. Forsyth takes the puck behind the net, up the wall looking for McDonald, but pinching in his Carroll to keep the play alive, and he will. As looking for it there was Taylor. Towards the opposite wall, kept in by Graves, and back in deep. Grandy have to play it once again. Leaves it for Cormier. Here's Brett Cormier looking for McDonald. It's a funny hop of the boards. Ends up on the stick of Jollymore. That's going to be turned over. Here's Miller Cannon. Cannon on the left side will chip it ahead. Cannon down low for Sears. His goals teammate has the puck behind the goal. Up top, here's a chance here for Carroll. Carroll will fire one on, but blocked in front there. Nice chance for Bryce Carroll to tie this game up, but fanned on the shot, I believe. Might have been blocked. Here's Miller Cannon. Cannon over to Carroll. Carroll down the left side will send it in deep. He's looking forward as Forsyth gets nudged into the boards there by Cannon. Play towards the opposite end as Forsyth still able to make the play. Here's McDonald through the middle for Tenwold. Here's Henrik Tenwold. Look at the dangles way through, trying to get by Greenow, but he gets hit in the process by Trip Greenow. As here comes Mood over to Cannon. Cannon, nice move to escape the defense. Stays on side. Here's Cannon. Cannon pass in front for Sears, tipped in on goal. Rebound stopped as well. Still loose for Mood, but couldn't get a shot off. It's a couple of good saves there from Chase Grandy. And here comes Shear the other way for Team White. Shear through the middle for Little. Little towards the goal. Creeping in the crease there. Shear gets the rebound. Pass in front looking for Hannay. Shear shoots one. Stopped by Momberket. As here's Hannay up top. Lock here will shoot one on. That's going to be stopped. No rebound for Momberket. That's he'll squeeze up the puck and make the save. Great action here back and forth. Players are going to make a good impression on these coaches as they have the next 26 minutes and 35 seconds to do so. Face-off coming up. Puck dropped. As that's going to come loose for Trip Greenow to lead the rush. Greenow down the right side. The Valley Wildcat defenseman will send it in deep. As here comes Shear with it now for Team White. Shear, number 52, will poke it ahead. Shear enters the zone on the right side. Shear, nice move. Shear has knocked off the puck there by his teammate Williams. It's Luke Williams, the Halifax Wolverine defenseman. Up to the point for Sim. Sim down low, picked up by Wilmot. He'll chip it ahead, but trying to clear, but Little gets there. Here's Shear again. Jack Shear gets hit into the boards by Greenow as Little takes a nudge from Wilmot. Little still has the puck. Little wraparound chance there, comes free for Shear. Shear couldn't shoot it as Shear gets it now, and he'll fire it now and then stopped by Momberket. With less than 6 minutes to go now in the second period. Another whistle here. Good shift in the O-zone for Team White. So, face-off coming up, and for the draw is Kukua Calvert up against Manton Austin. As Calvert gets kicked out of the draw, so in comes Correa. Puck dropped. One back to Calvert, who shoots one, stopped by Momberket. Rebound behind the goal. That's going to be played out in front. McMullen looking to clear, but it's going to be kept in as Calvert was there on the forecheck. Comes free. Here comes Austin. Round two developing. Austin, Taylor, and Grace join the rush, but it's going to be sent in deep. Here's Taylor. Taylor looking to spin out the check. Austin has the puck now. Austin cycles it down low for Jack Taylor. Taylor behind the goal, holding on to it. Up top, McMullen thought about shooting, but tried it and shot it instead. Rebounds loose there at the blocker. Cleared away by White. Here's Calvert. Lokua Calvert on the right side. Will get hit into the wall there by Grace. Picked up by Lincoln McDonald. Here comes McDonald. Gets stretched at the puck there, but right under the stick of McMullen. GD to Grace. Here's McDonald again. Lincoln McDonald streaking through. McDonald still has it there, kind of drag his way through, draws a penalty. As tripping is the call. So power play for Red. Mood, Sears. Are back out there with Miller Cannon. So goalie looking to fix his pad there. About 5 minutes to go here in the second period. As that's Braxton Robertson who took the penalty for Team White. Team White needs one more player. As they'll send Beckett Forsyth out there. Chase Grandy still fixing his pad, the Truro Bearcat goaltender. Looks like he's ready to go now. Putting his gloves back on. Getting an ovation from Bryce Carroll. And here we go now. Face-off coming up. Mood against Burke. Puck is dropped. One back by Burke. Puck played at the point there, bouncing past Braun. Ends up back in the red zone. Here's Linus Braun, the Austrian defenseman, will play it for Mood. Jackson Mood crosses the X at center ice. Down to the left side. Mood on the half wall behind the net now. Mood puts the brakes on. Mood up top for Carroll. Carroll will walk towards the middle. Over across for Braun. Braun down low for Cannon. Back up top for Braun. Return pass to Cannon on the half wall. Cannon will throw it towards the goal, looking for the tip in front with Sears. Just tipped it wide. That's here's Mood out of the corner. Mood still has it. Will fire one towards the goal, but Fandon picked up by Braun. Linus Braun over to Carroll. Carroll will throw it towards the opposite end there on the stick of Cannon. Up top, Braun will fire one, blocked by Maddox Burke. Puck bouncing in the corner for Sears. Sears finds Cannon. Great puck movement on this power play. Here's Braun in the middle. Shot is tipped by the stick of Maddox Burke. As here's Mood. Turns it over, and that will be sent down the ice by Jared Conlon. And White able to make some changes here, so will Red. As there's 15 seconds to go on the power play, here's Carroll. Circling back, will be there for Braun behind the goal. Braun. Return pass for Carroll. Carroll had to hop over his stick. Carroll will circle back down low. Here's Jake Wilmot now. Wilmot will pass it up for Douglas. Here is Parker Douglas on the right side, looking to streak his way through. He finds Little. Here's McDonald. That's going to be turned over and sent towards the bench. Another chance there for a too many men call, but thankfully that didn't hit the glove of number 74. That's Graves. Here's Williams over to Sam Graves. The Cougar defenseman will take it up the ice down the right side. Graves puts the brakes on. Still has it as Sam Graves. Up ahead, here's McDonald. That's Jackson McDonald over across for Williams. Williams towards the goal is blocked in front by Cormier. Rebounds loose for Douglas. As Douglas has it behind the net. Douglas or across it looking for Williams out of his reach. And watch out here. McDonald's in the forecheck, but Williams gets there first but turns it over. That was Spencer Anderson looking to get the puck. Tipped ahead by Graves as Cormier pinching in will get to the puck, but it's going to be turned over. Graves will look to throw it ahead there, but Sim gets to it first. Sent towards the opposite end. Out to play it is Marmarquette. He'll go forehand up the opposite wall, but ends up out of the zone. Here's Felix McDonald. With 2:20 to go here in the second period. There's a chance here of an awkward angle shot from Maddox Burke. Just goes wide. Is puck in the corner. Here's McDonald. Felix McDonald off the half wall will drag and fire when blocked. In the corner now is Manton Austin. Austin then Nova's forward will play over ahead for Lincoln McDonald. Here comes McDonald down the right side. Lincoln McDonald will fire one towards the goal. Stopped. Rebound as he let a shot go on his Truro Bearcat teammate Grandy, who's there to make the save. That's puck there for Grace. Up top for Austin, who was covering for Grace on the blue line. Sent in deep there. Chipped up ahead. Foot race for the puck. Greenow gets there first. Greenow looking for an option. Will circle back up the wall there. Nearly turned over, and it is. Sent back in deep by Jollymore. Gets the puck back. Jollymore behind the goal. Minute and a half to go in this first period. Is one-timer shot from Hannah. It just goes wide. As puck on the wall now. Here's McDonald looking for it. Sending towards the boards. Up the wall by Grace. Kept in at the line. Puck is bouncing. Sent in deep for Greenow. Approaching the last minute of play in the second period. There's Taylor up to the middle there. It's going to be picked off. Deity pass over for Shear. Shear finds Lockyer. Lockyer up to the middle there looking for Little, but it's going to be out of his reach. Down the ice looking for it is Grace. It gets hit into the boards there by teammate Little. His Bombers teammate, I should say, not in this tournament. As chance here, pass in front has hit the body of Marmarquette looking one way and then went the other, and he scores. Little gets the rebound. Marmarquette looking for the rebound off his pad. Couldn't find it, and Little was right there to poke it home. Cohen Little, second goal today Makes it 3-1 for Team White late in the period. I don't believe they've had a 2-goal lead yet this weekend. But here they are now, up by a pair late in the second. Mood against Little for the face-off here. Puck is dropped. Played back. Here's McMullen over to Carroll. Carroll up ahead there, finds Cannon, who will take an awkward hop of the boards there on the dump in. As there's less than 30 seconds to go now in the period. Carroll can hold the line as he has Shear right on him. Foot race for the puck. Carroll versus Shear. Carroll gets there first, able to make the play over to McMullen. McMullen through the middle there, picked off. Here comes Little looking for the hat trick. Little can't get by Carroll. As Carroll will send it up ahead there as he takes a hit. Up high there. As he'll go back for the puck, and it's going to be an icing call with 6 seconds to go in the second period. Offense's own chance for Team Red as they're down by a pair. On the draw is Sears. Puck is dropped. One back by Little as White has possession in their own zone. That's going to do it here for the period. As time will trickle down and 40 minutes have gone so far. 20 more to go as teams went to the room once again for the intermission. You're tuned into High Button Sports live from St. FX campus here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Third period coming up after the break. Welcome back here for the third period. 3-1 your score for Team White. Last 20 minutes to show off their stuff before the final decisions will be made for the team. 12 forwards, 860, and 2 goalies will move on to represent Nova Scotia. So they got to cut it down from 48, I believe, to 20. So a lot of big decisions coming up here. As puck is bouncing neutral ice, picked up by Wakeham. Wakeham will look to the partner pass for Calvert, but he was covering on D, went back to the wing, so he can pick that one up as it's going to be kept in by McMullen. McMullen will walk it in towards the goal as it's the side of the cage, and new goalie is Wyatt Esbon, number 74. And then on the other side is number 7, Riley Green, not the country singer. As here's Grace up top. Grace will fire one towards the net. It's going to be towards the opposite zone. It's going to be sent down the opposite end, picked up, or played by Green. Here's Grace now. So we're a minute deep into this third period. As played over across, here comes Grace. Up the wall, it's going to be kept in by Forsyth. Shot stopped by Green. Riley Green, a Truro Bearcat product. And Wyatt Esba, the lone city goalie here representing the Gulls. It's mostly, well, not mostly, it is Truro and Nova's goalies besides him. As here comes Lincoln McDonald. McDonald will backhand one towards the zone. Just enough to not be icing as here's Cormier. He'll go backhand at the wall. Kept in by Manton Austin. Looking to clear is Conlon. It's going to be kept in at the line by Carroll. Sent in deep. Forsyth will look to get to the puck. It's going to be poked ahead by Taylor. Here's Austin. Plays it behind the net. Taylor gets bumped into the boards there by Forsyth. Puck comes free for McDonald. Stopped by Esball. Rebound put in by Jack Taylor, and it's 3-2. Lincoln McDonald poking that one through the side of the net and came free for Jack Taylor, the Dartmouth Whaler. And it is now a 1-goal game here early on in the third. As Bob made the first 2 or 3 saves, but rebound was there for the taking. And Taylor did just that. As Burke will come in for the face-off against Austin. Puck is dropped. As Carroll gets it back. As watch out here. Here comes Maddox. Burke all alone. Burke on the backhand off the post. Beat the goalie, but not the iron. Maddox Burke nearly made it 4-2 for Team White. As here comes Carroll. Carroll over to Braun. Braun had that knock into his feet there. As battle for the loose puck in the corner. As staving off the check is Conlon. Conlon will spin. Looking to make some space for himself there as it's be turned over. Comes Taylor, the most recent goal scorer. Taylor towards the middle. Does not find another stick. Ends up in the corner. And on the forecheck is Austin. He'll get there first. Austin trying to spin off the check. Sim throws it towards the goal. Rebounds loose there, but Sears couldn't poke it free. As watch out, Green drops his stick as he was going to play it. Could have been a Marty Brodeur situation back in the early 2000s. As here comes Sears with his sheerwood stick. Has the puck through the middle. Over to Douglas. Douglas will fire one on off the pad of Esba. As that was Cannon, rather, make with the shot. Here comes Jollymore. Over to Tenwold. Tenwold gets hit in the boards there from Williams as he throws it on net. Here's Mood. Over to Sears. As Cash West there to make the players. I got a spam call on my phone. Those are so annoying when I get like 6 or 7 spam calls a day. Anyway, puck is in front of the red bench. Here is Mood. Jackson Mood through the middle. Has the puck. The Bandit sniper will play it over across, looking for Graves, who was streaking in, but instead he gets his own puck. As here's Graves streaking through up top for Sears. Sears will fire one on. Shot into the glove of Esball, who saw through traffic to make the save. And he'll cover up for the whistle. 16:10 to go here in the third. A couple more shifts each for each player to make an impression on the coaches. I've heard there's still some tough decisions to be made here as they will have a meeting after this game and decide the final team, and they will announce the roster later on this week, I believe, is what they usually do. Here's Greenow. Sends it back in deep. Out to play it was Esbaugh. Leaves it there for Robertson. Robertson takes a hit but makes the play. Over to Shear. Shear looking cross sights there just out of the reach of Hannay. That pass was too hot to handle. Here is Grace. Connor Grace will circle back behind the goal line. Grace over to Greenow. Greenow up ahead for Douglas. Douglas through the middle looking for McDonald's. It takes a funny hop chance here. As here comes Jackson McDonald all alone towards the goal as he falls down. Might have been taken down, but arm stays down as well. As here is Grace. Sent in deep there. Esbaugh will glove it down. Leaves it for Wakeham. Mason Wakeham with the puck in his own zone will go up the boards. Finds Asher Sampson off the bench. Sampson through the middle. Has the puck. Down the right side now. Sampson puts the brakes on the half wall. Sampson looking for the trailer. Finds Cormier. Cormier up top. Cormier will fire towards the goal. Stopped by Green. Rebounds there for Trip Greenow. As he has the puck now in his own end. Number 76 in red. The Valley Wildcats defenseman will dangle his way through across the X. And to center ice. Greenow will fire one from distance. Block it away by Esbaugh. As Greenow gets the rebound. Here's Trip Greenow over to Lincoln McDonald. Hold the shot pass go. Rebounds there, but no. Esbaugh gets there first as Taylor came streaking through looking for the tip. And with 14:47 to go. Puck is dropped. As McMullen fakes the shot, holds onto it towards the goal, gets blocked, and that's what ends up out of play. And looks like the Pops there trying to poke it free, but he gave up on the effort. So that puck would have sit there in the netting. I'm sure someone will eventually get to it, but for now it will stay there as puck is dropped on the ice. They get a new one, of course, because that old one was unavailable. There's a hit there on Taylor from Calvert. Puck comes free for Austin. Up top, here's Lincoln McDonald. McDonald dangling his way through, still has it. McDonald will fire one on, just goes wide. Looking for another goal, as he's had plenty of those so far in this showcase. It's here McDonald again, tipped in front. Hit a body. Does not go in. His chance the other way is going to be intercepted as Carroll got to stick on that breakaway attempt. As here comes Cormier streaking through. Brett Cormier, the defenseman, on the backhand behind the goal, pinching in, puts the brakes on. Big number 33 down low for Sampson. Asher Sampson has it. Streaking through. Can't get it on goal as that's going to be picked up by McMullen. McMullen will flick one through the middle of the ice. Gloved down by Manton Austin. His Nova teammate is going to be turned over. There's Cole Rhea. Rhea towards the boards. It's hitting the wall as McMullen makes the play up through the middle. Chance here for Cannon. Miller Cannon will poke it free behind the net as Forsyth will take it out of the scrum. It's bouncing for Calvert. Lakua Calvert will play it around the wall. And that's going to be a penalty coming up here. Slashing to call on Beckett Forsyth, number 34 in white, as you can hear the ref yell out the number. So Team Red, who's down by a goal here in the third, will head to the man advantage. Mood, Sears, and Cannon with Williams and Graves out there for the power play. Oh, sorry, that's Braun, not Graves. This puck is dropped, hitting the wall there, comes free. Here's Cannon. Over to Jackson Mood. Mood out of the corner there, looking in front for Sears, who just had that hop over a Sherwood stick. Comes up top, here's Williams. Plays it around the wall and deep for Cannon. Miller Cannon has it. Plays it up top for Williams. Williams will walk and fire one low, looking for the tip. Rebounds there for Sears and stopped by Esbaugh twice. As here is Mood down low for Sears. Grayson Sears plays it up top for Williams. Williams fanned with a shot there as he had Spencer Anderson right on him. Here's Mood up top. Mood holding onto it. Pass in front there, looking for Sears once again as he was tangled up in front by Reese Sim as comes free. Here's Williams up top for Braun. Escaped his stick up the top. Sprombo shooing on, looking through the tip in front as that was a good job there from Linus Braun to get a puck through traffic. But Esbaugh is there to make the save. Wilmot. Puck is dropped. Shot off from McDonald, he scores. Goes through Esbaugh. That's Jackson McDonald. Power play, game-tying goal. And we're knotted at threes here. The Bombcat forward, Jackson McDonald, had 18 points as a rookie in the U15 league last season. Has his team all tied up with Team White here. As puck is dropped. Played back for West. West up ahead for McDonald. That's Felix McDonald. One-touch pass is intercepted. Chance here. Here's McDonald again. That's Jackson McDonald. There's 3 McDonalds out here today. Jackson, Lincoln, and Felix. As puck played behind the goal. Here is Jackson McDonald. On the half wall up top for Graves. Shot just goes wide, looking for the tip in front. Here's Grace pinching in. Grace will play it towards the goal there, looking for another chance with McDonald. Here's Grace again, zipping his way through. Finds McDonald. Still looking like they're on the power play, but they're not. Here's Grace up top. Nice move there. Grace gets picked off the puck. Chance here. Here comes Felix McDonald for Team White, number 48. McDonald takes it wide, trying to bust his way through there, but Graves gets a piece of him on the way in. 12:09 to go here in the third period of another whistle. So after this game, the U16s will take over the rink as Team Green will practice here while Team Orange is having a team builder, I believe. The schedule is posted online somewhere. And there's no exhibition games yet for Team Green and Team Orange. But there will be tomorrow. Here's Lincoln McDonald on the right side. McDonald trying to streak his way through, but Wakeham there to just drop that. It's hit into the boards. Was Hannay. That causes a stir from the red bench as here comes Carroll. Carroll trying to poke it past Little, and he will. Little with a hit there from Carroll on Wakeham. That's a big body collision right there. As puck comes free around the boards. Carroll taking down the big man Wakeham, the Cole Harbour versus Whalers rivalry there. As that's going to be turned over. Here's Shear. Shear shot stopped by Green. Puck comes to the point now. Here's Wakeham backhand through the middle for Taylor. It's going to be turned over. Here comes Jack Taylor. Taylor looking to drop it off, but Little on the back check gets to the puck. Here comes Cohen Little down the left side. 3-on-2 developing. Little still has the puck towards the goal looking for Shear, but Carroll gets a stick on it. Great shift for number 72 in red. As here comes Manton Austin. Austin over to looking at McDonald. McDonald trying to drag his way through. Comes free for Austin. Austin puts the brakes on. Still has it. Picked off by Little. As the Bombers forward will take it the other way. Here comes Cohen Little down the right side. Number 47 in white has the puck. Played over across there looking for Cormier, who was streaking through but couldn't connect with him. It's going to be taken away by Cannon. As here's Mood over across, looking to spring Jackson Mood. He's in all alone. Mood will fire one on as Ball get a piece of it, just enough to keep things tied here. And Andy Ganesh will be chipped up ahead, out of play. And that will be a break here. What a great sequence of events that was. Chance here to rest my voice after all that action. As we're about halfway through this third period, only a few shifts left for each player to make an impression on these coaches and management. As Miller Cannon out there for the face-off against Lakua Calvert, 2 goals going at it on the dot. Puck is dropped. Tie game here. Antigonish thrown towards the goal, blocked by Sim in front, cleared away by Lockyer. Hits a 11 linesman, stays in. Here's Cannon in front for Sears. Couldn't get loose there. As here's McMullen. Shot towards the goal is going to be fought off by Esbaugh. He'll cover up for the whistle. Puck is dropped. That's going to be picked up ahead. Here comes Asher Sampson on the right wing. Puts the brakes on, but met right there by the body of Jackson Mood, who'll take the puck over. Mood through the middle, crosses the X, has the puck, drops it off for Sears. Sears will fire one on off the stick and out of play as Lockyer got a piece of that one. Mood and Sears nearly collecting once again. They've been playing a lot together here this weekend, and they've been pretty dynamic. 2 of the top first-year players in Nova Scotia last season. They'll look to take over their teams here next year. So here's McDonald on the face-off against Burke. Is off the draw, comes free there. Almost a perfect play for Red off the draw, but picked off by White. As here comes Maddox Burke. Burke on the left side. Burke will drag his way through there, but he had two back checkers on him. So unable to make a play. As here's Sim at the blue line. Sim with the dump it in deep there. Puck is bouncing on the line. It's free for Douglas. Douglas had that knocked off his twig. As here's Spencer Anderson over across for Nathan McLean. Behind the net for Sim. Reese Sim looking to poke it ahead, and he will for Conlon. It goes off the glass. Braun there to send it right back in deep. 9.5 to go here in the third period. Here's Sim behind his net. Reese Sim up the wall for Conlon. One-touch pass is turned over. Here comes McDonald. McDonald in front there as he got knocked off the puck. He held on to it for a bit too long. As here's Anderson. Over across for Conlon. Conlon turned over by Braun. Once again, Braun up for Wilmot. Wilmot through the middle. Dishes it off for Braun. One-timer just goes wide. Wilmot gets the rebound. He'll go back in up the wall towards the middle. It's going to be picked off once again. As here's Burke looking for Anderson, but off over his stick. Maddox Burke will play it back. Sim looking for it, but Jack Taylor, first off the bench, will get in on the forecheck. Taylor gets bumped into the wall by Sim. As here's Reese Sim over to McLean. McLean has it behind the goal as Taylor's right over him. Sent back in deep there by Tenwold. Towards the wall, here's Felix McDonald looking to spin, and he will. Finds a streaking Tenwold coming through, but Graves there with the stick to knock that away. Here comes Bryce Carroll. Carroll, the Coal Harbor native, had turned away at the line. Picked off. Here comes Taylor over to Graves through the middle. Picked up by Manton Austin. Austin hits a big collision there at the blue line as him and Nathan McLean colliding there. As here's Tenwold towards the opposite end for McDonald. McDonald knocked off the puck by Carroll. As Red is offside, played over across the ice for Tenwold. Foot race for the puck between him and Graves. Graves gets there first. Here's Sam's Graves, the Cougar defenseman, goes D-to-D to Carroll. Carroll up the wall looking for Miller Cannon. Cannon gets nudged off the puck. Cannon plays it over across for Graves. Finds Lincoln McDonald. Back to Graves, streaking through. Graves will enter the zone here. Gets taken down by a hip check from Cash West. Plenty of physicality here in this third period as puck comes free. As here's Cannon up top. One-timer, or pass rather, from McDonald. Fooled me. As here is Carroll. Skates his stick. Sends it in deep. Picked off. Sent up ahead by Jolly Moore. As here comes Felix McDonald. As Mood off the bench gets to the puck. Finds Lincoln McDonald. McDonald out there with Mood. Has the puck. McDonald looking to drop that off for Jackson Mood, but intercepted. A chance here for Hannay, but off the bench came Trent Greenow to collect the puck. Greenow go off the glass. Picked up by Mood. Touched pass for Douglas. Here's Miller Cannon. Cannon trying to find Mood there, but it's out of his reach. Here's Hannay now. Hannay over to Jack Shear. Shear streaking through. Will dangle his way through it in the corner now is Shear. 7 minutes to go here in the third. Shear gets nudged off the puck there by teammate Williams. Gets the puck right back towards the goal. Here's Hannay. Hannay looking to center that puck. Looking for Little for the hat trick, but out of his reach. As here comes Jackson Mood. Nice move to get to the puck ahead. Here's a chance here for Cannon. Look to find Mood, but out of his reach. As that's going to be poked up ahead. Off the bench is McMullen. He'll get to the puck. Over to Greenow. DD pass. Greenow will fire one in deep. Out to play it is Esbaugh. He'll go back in at the wall, just out of the reach of Braxton Robertson as Cannon gets there first. Miller Cannon and Mood in the corner. 2-on-2 with Little and Robertson. Puck comes free up top. Poked back in deep by McMullen. So 6.5 to go here in the third. Here's Jack Shear. Wolverine forward. Up ahead for Cohen Little. Little has the puck. Enters the zone, but turned away is Mood. Knocked off his stick by Hannay. As off the bench came Brett Cormier. He finds Mason Wakeham, two very tall defensemen out there for Team White right now. As here's Shear off the pass from Wakeham. Shear enters the zone. That's going to be offside as Hannay got tangled up at the blue line. And with 6:05 to go, still a tie game here in Antigonish. A couple shifts left, perhaps, for each player, if that. A couple more looks here from each guy before the coaches and staff will make the final cuts here. This puck is dropped. DD pass, here's McMullen. We'll send it in deep. McMullen and Cormier bounding for the puck there as Cormier able to nudge it ahead up the wall. Gets it right back. Cormier over to Sampson, picked off. Sent towards the white zone as here's Forsyth. Forsyth has Douglas right on him. Gets nudged into the boards there, and a few shots being exchanged. Puck comes free. Foot race for it. Looks like McMullen is going to get there first, and he will. McMullen will go back in at the wall. Finds McDonald. McDonald up ahead for Douglas. Hopped over his stick. So bounce at the last moment there. So here's Sim. Go to Forsyth. Up the middle. Picked off by Rhea. Here's Cole Rhea through the middle. Down the left side. Rhea has the puck. Trying to dangle his way through. Rhea will fire one up high. Hit the crossbar. That would have been a beautiful goal. His rebound shot from the point is stopped as well by Riley Green. As here's Rhea. Can't get the puck to go his way. Here comes Douglas to the other side. Douglas for Team Red will fire one off the stick and out of play as Seth Lockyer gets a piece of that one. Exactly 5 minutes to go now here in the third. Tie game, St. FX campus. Two-way puck drop here. As McDonald finds Braun up top. Braun will fire one on, looking for the tip in front. Rebounds loose, but cleared away. Here's Carroll. Carroll had a little trouble with there at the blue line. A chance either way now. Here comes Conlon with Burke. Conlon is going to be offside. Burke a little too antsy to get into the zone there. So whistle will go. Face off in neutral ice. 3-3 game here. Another tight finish in Antigonish. Besides the 1-8-0 games have been pretty close. Red has won all three of them, but White has made it pretty hard on them. As here comes Conlon towards the goal. It goes wide of the net. Conlon gets his own rebound fired. Goes through the crease. Pinching in there, looking for the puck is McLean. It's going to exit the zone. Back to retrieve is Cash West. He'll go up the wall there, looking for Spencer Anderson, but it's going to be turned over. So here comes Austin. Austin gets hit into the boards as West looking for the loose puck. Here comes Cash West up the wall looking for Anderson as Taylor tangled him up. Comes free for Burke. Burke trying to poke it free, but steered away. Played back in deep. Here's Nathan McLean. McLean has the puck behind his own goal, approaching the 16-minute mark here in the third, which would indicate 4 minutes left in this 20-minute period. Here comes Tenwold. Tenwold dangling his way through there, hits a skate. That's going to be sent back in towards the zone. Puck is free, picked up by Braun in his own end. Venus Braun up the wall, finds Jack Taylor. Taylor will chip it ahead looking for Lincoln McDonald. Foot race for the puck there, but able to get there first was Felix McDonald. As here comes Tenwold up for Felix McDonald. Number 48 for White has the puck on his backhand towards the goal and stopped there by Green. Not sure if he got a piece of that, but ended up on net. As I believe that was Liam Jollymore on the receiving end of that pass. Unable to poke it by Green. This game will remain a tie one here. There's 3:39 to go. Puck dropped. One back by Red in their own zone. Here's Graves. The Cougar defenseman will go up the wall. It's going to be picked up ahead by Jackson Mood. Mood out there with Sears. Poked off his stick. That's going to be chipped through the middle. Picked up by Graves right in front of the X. As Graves will enter the zone on the right side. Graves slowly making his way as he gets knocked off the puck by Wakeham. Wakeham battling for the puck in the corner. Mood and Sears trying to poke it free. So that's going to still be in deep there. That's Graves pinching in. He'll go back to the blue line. As hit there by Sears on Jollymore. A couple of gulls colliding to the wall. As here comes Felix McDonald. McDonald on the right side. Nice move there. McDonald still has it. McDonald can finish that one off. Nice toe drag to get by the defense. The puck is behind the goal now. Comes free, cleared away. Sears finds Cannon. Here comes Miller Cannon down the left side. He'll dish it off for Mood. Mood will drag his way through. Here comes Jackson Mood spinning. Nudged out the puck there. So took a funny hop, a diving effort to keep it in, but he couldn't hold the line. As here comes Felix McDonald again. McDonald's with 2.5 to go in the third. Towards the goal, and Riley Green with the glove makes the save, and he'll hold on here for a whistle. So 2:35 remaining to be exact. It is 3-3 here in the third. I believe no games have ended in a tie yet here this weekend. Puck is dropped. The face-off. Here's Forsyth pinching in. Beckett Forsyth has it behind the net. Forsyth up top for Cormier. Cormier looking to get in deep there, but picked off. Here comes Chip Greenow. Greenow through the middle, looking for McDonald. Here comes Jackson McDonald, but McDonald looking to get to the puck there as Esbaugh fights it off with the pad. His rebound is covered up As it looked like Jackson McDonald had no shot there on the 1-on-2, but able to streak by the left defenseman and got a decent shot off, but Esba makes the save with the pad. 2:12 to go. Jackson McDonald in for the draw against Asher Sampson. 2:12 to go in the third period. That's going to be one back by White in their own zone. Put up the wall for Shear. One touch pass for Cohen Little. Little enters the zone. Little back for Shear. Shear will drag and try and fire one off, but in the back check was Wilmot to lift his stick. Here's McDonald, or Little rather. A shot is stopped there by Riley Green and covered up for the whistle. A little bit of a shoving match going on between the Wolverines, Shear, and the Gulls Douglas. A little city rivalry going on there. As things nearly coming to a close here, about 2 minutes to go. Tie game. Here's Lakua Calvert against Matt and Austin on the face-off. Puck is dropped. One back by Red in their own end. He's looking McDonald looking for it, but kept in by Sim towards the goal. Puck is bouncing on net, stopped by Green. As here's McMullen. Around the wall, finds Taylor on the wing. Taylor up through the middle for Lincoln McDonald. Here comes a Truro Bearcat as he'll play it towards the boards. McDonald still has the puck. Nice move there. Lincoln McDonald making his way through. McDonald will fire one towards the goal, blocked in front. As here is Carroll. Puck is bouncing. Sam looking to poke it free. Sent in towards the opposite boards as McMullen had that hop over his stick. As he gets hit into the boards there as he's pinching in. Comes free for Sim in front of his own goal. Watch out here as Taylor uses his body to alleviate that scoring chance. As here comes Asher Sampson in his own zone. Sampson towards the wall. Last minute of play here in the third. Tie game here in Antigonish. Here's Sampson, the Nova product, playing in his home rink. As puck is on the wall now. His puck is bouncing for Cash West. Chance here for McDonald. McDonald has the puck, 2-on-1, developing McDonald over across there as Cannon couldn't get to the puck. As there's 43 seconds to go now. Tie game. Here's West up ahead for Rhea. Rhea towards the middle for Calvert. Here's Lakua Calvert down the left side. Gets stopped at the hash marks there. Puck is bouncing. Here's West. Comes free. Here's Jackson Mood with 28 seconds to go. Mood dangling his way through. Mood towards the backhand. That's stopped by Esba. As Cannon got the rebound towards the goal. Still loose. Here's Jackson Mood. Looking for a no-look pass there for Sears. Comes free from Williams towards the net. Puck is bouncing in the slot as that's going to be cleared away as Rhea lifting the stick there. 10 seconds to go. Here's Mood in front for Sears. Sears shot. Stopped by Esba. Rebounds there. And they poke away at it as Braun. One last chance towards the goal. Puck is bouncing there. And that nearly went in. Rebound is there, but that's going to be the end of the game. Exciting finish here. That's going to do it for the U15s. 3-3's your final score. A great game on hand. The best players at this age in Nova Scotia put on a show for us here today. And that's going to do it for our coverage. My name is Mason Denike. Thank you for tuning in all week long. Hopefully you enjoyed the coverage. We'll have plenty more here as the U16s and Teen Atlantic are still here to show their stuff off. So we'll have that coverage for you beginning tomorrow. But for now, we'll say thank you for watching. Until next time, everybody, have a great night. See you later.